If you've been following the Los Angeles Mayoral race, you know that it is a complete shit show now. So Spencer Pratt came out and did a victory speech, basically indicating that he and Karen Bass would most likely go on to the runoff because Bass was a little bit ahead of Pratt in November. However, Los Angeles, being a blue city and just historically has taken, I think, 7 days after the race just to count all of the votes. It's one of the states, there's not that many of them, that require no ID to vote. And with simply a signature, you can vote by mail and send it in up to, I believe, 7 days after the mayoral race, and it gets counted. So the problem has been, and now President Trump is weighing in on it, is that Nithya, I can't remember her last name, it starts with an R, Raman maybe, she conceded. She was the third candidate. So Karen Bass, Spencer Pratt, and then tens of thousands of votes behind Spencer Pratt was Nithya. And she was early on projected to be a contender. And then Pratt came along with his Palisades house being burned down and galvanized in a viral way a huge movement and did really well. And so when the numbers came out election night in the primary, Nithya conceded, crying and everything. Then all of a sudden the votes started coming in. Nobody thought it was going to go this way, but Nithya quickly started netting thousands and thousands of Democrat votes, while Karen Bass's numbers and Spencer Pratt's numbers hardly moved, which is very, very shady. So now President Trump has weighed in on it, and then I was scrolling and this popped up on my For You page, and we're gonna take a look and see what the latest is.
There has just been a jolt in the race for mayor of Los Angeles. Nithya Raman, a one-time Karen Bass ally turned adversary, has surged at the ballot box.
Yeah, the stakes are high in this primary election and the race for governor, of course. Rachel Menitoff joining us live from the Election Center in the City of Industry. She's got the latest numbers. Rachel.
Rick, Karine, good evening. Millions of votes are still being processed as we speak. A lot of people have been critical that it has taken such a long time, but election officials and experts say the California vote is slower because mail-in ballots require a signature verification and other checks before the ballot can actually be counted. As you mentioned, some brand new results out of the mayoral race. Let's get to those right now. The gap between former reality.
Look at that, guys. She conceded because she was so far behind. I want to say it was at least 7 percentage points. And now she is neck and neck. And it's literally almost a week after the race. And Pratt barely went up. And she gained tens of thousands over and over. Does not smell good. And like I said, President Trump was already in the news just today, I believe, talking about how it's completely bullshit.
Star Spencer Pratt and Councilmember Nithya Raman is narrowing, and Raman is now in the lead for second place by 3,100 votes. Raman says she's encouraged by the latest vote count and remains grateful for everyone who has powered through this campaign.
I cannot believe that Raman is ahead. You know, I think this is the age of the woman Democrat. You know, it's kind of finally crescendoing. Women really want women politicians because women believe a lot of the time that they're better than men, not even equal, better. And now we're just seeing that rear its ugly head. And so LA better be doing the right thing, because if this isn't a rigged election, then if Nithya wins, they're going to have to live with it. And now they've got, I mean, it's an independent race. They're all running as independents. So, but this is absolutely nuts. I don't understand how all of the mail-in votes, or like most of them can be going toward Nithya. That seems very strange, doesn't it?
Mayor Karen Bass, of course, is in first place at 34%. She sent out a statement within the hour calling out Rahman for years of allowing encampments outside of schools, cutting police funding, and ignoring our film and TV industry.
Look, I think Karen Bass is just happy Pratt is not going to be challenging her. It's looking really bad for Pratt now, even though I really want him to win.
Democratic politician Javier Becerra won the top spot in the primary race for governor. He's at 27%. In second place as of this afternoon is Steve Hilton at 25%, and then Tom Steyer at 22%. President Trump made baseless and broad claims of mass fraud in California's drawn-out vote count. There is no evidence of this.
Well, we obviously know which side KTLA is on, and they, of course, are going to say that they're being just completely factual. But like I said, I'm not the only one saying this. So there are a lot of people looking at these results, and something smells really, really fishy. It looks really, really strange. You'd have to be, I mean, if you're a mathematical prodigy and you're looking at these numbers and looking at the distribution when the mail-in ballots come in and they're all mostly going for one candidate, that's very, very strange. So, I mean, I'm sure it all has a logical explanation, right? I'm still holding out hope that Pratt will somehow pull this off. And since they're right neck and neck. He made a tweet just a little while ago that said, Nithya is not the only not the only person who knows where to find votes. So Spencer, I hope you can find some votes. We're counting on you, brother.
Along those lines, U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley says he's opening up multiple election fraud investigations.
Oh, and I forgot what I wanted to say earlier, and I just remembered, and that was that, like I said, I think women really want to see women politicians now, and I don't blame them. But like I said, a lot of women believe they are smarter than men, which I think is wild. I'm not saying that men are smarter, but it's wild that women think they're smarter than men. And I mean, when you look at what men have done for civilization for, centuries. But here's the problem, is that women turn out to vote way more than men. So men get out there and vote. Everybody get out there and vote.
He's raising concerns about universal vote by mail, the absence of voter ID requirements, and ballot harvesting, more commonly known as ballot collection. This is legal in California. It's when a voter allows another person to return their completed mail ballot. Political analyst Matt.
And that is absolutely insane. We absolutely need voter ID. We need picture ID. We need to put real regulations on mail-in ballots. This is not okay. If people are considering it to be fraud, then it's not okay. And there's a large percentage of the population that's considering it fraud. And guess what? For decades, I just saw a poll, I'm not sure if it was on CNN or what, but Republicans and Democrats, the majority of them, have all wanted voter ID for forever. But why don't we have it in California? Or I believe also in New York. These are massive cities. It's mind-blowing.
Matt Klink says the race for governor is stable right now, but there's an interesting twist now in the mayor's race. Listen.
Nithya Rahman surpassed Spencer Pratt today. She now leads by 3,113 votes. The race is over. It's Mayor Karen Bass versus Nithya Rahman for the general election. And Nithya Rahman has consistently gained, in fact, gaining more than Mayor Karen Bass has gained. And I think it has a lot to do with young voters deciding late and also very, very progressive voters deciding late.
Right, which we know right now is predominantly women. And nobody wants to say it because everyone's scared to point the finger at women because they're extremely outspoken. They get on the internet, they love to comment, and historically men haven't written or commented as much because they're out building stuff and making money. But now it's the age of women, right? We had just some years back, we had Believe All Women. And look, I love women. If you're watching this, I'm not trying to disenfranchise any viewers, but I'm just saying, like, Believe All Women, are you crazy? Like, that is not a thing. And that's why we stopped doing that. But women control the spending power, they spend the most, so corporations are afraid to say anything about them. Everyone's afraid to say anything about them. And, this is, hopefully we don't lose our country, because progressive ideology is what caused the UK to now be controlled by a lot of foreigners that moved in. And progressive policies causes us to take immigrants who run for political office, like Ilhan Omar, who are most likely defrauding our government in the billions of dollars of taxpayer money. And like I said, because women care about their social image often more than they do what's actually happening in reality, they want to be seen as a nice person. They will actually make decisions that are detrimental for society. So, it is what it is. Nobody wants to say it, though. Nobody wants to say it.
And so we're getting a much clearer picture of these election results tonight. Councilmember Nithya Raman is now in a solid second place, and it'll likely be between the Democrat Javier Becerra and the Republican Steve Hilton for governor in the November runoff election. That's the latest from the City of Industry. I'm Rachel Menitoff. Rick Kareem.
Well, guys, there's the video. I hope you guys have a nice night. I'll catch you in the next one.